Hi everyone, it's Alia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really nice journal to share with you. I was really excited with the way this one came out. And I just finished it, so I think I still have glue and maybe a little ink all over my hands, so excuse the messiness there. And I tried to be more organized with this video. I have some little cheat sheet strips. For some of the images that I used in the kit. But the main kit that I used, it's called Dear Rose, and it's from the Etsy shop. Is called Me, Nan, and My Crafty Kids. Oh, you can actually see it right here. But it's the Dear Rose collection. So that's what the main kit is made by. And then the other elements that I used in the kit, there was some, I think, journaling cards or tags and stuff from Ephemera's Vintage Garden and A Time for Roses. I also used Ephemera Vintage Garden's vintage planner notes as well. And then the only stuff that is in here that didn't have these little cutoffs on the bottom were a few different journaling cards and tags from Seneca Pond Crafts. And there's so many different elements that I used. I will try to point out what I do remember, but some of them look, not that they're similar, but I tried to use like anything that was like vintagey rose and stuff like that for this thing. So I do apologize ahead of time. I will hopefully get them straight, but if not, I just know that I used, the main kit was Me, Nan, and My Crafty Kids. I also used a lot of elements from Seneca Pond Crafts, and then I used a few cutouts from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. So let's get into it. So on the cover, this is, you know, the little thing that comes on the paper. It says Dear Rose, but I used it kind of just to title the book. And this image here actually is not from any one of those kits. This image here I found, I think, in the public domain. When you Google that, so like images that are not copywritten, I think I Googled public domain. It was one of the sites that came up, but I think that's where I got it from, almost 100% positive. And then the back has the same paper, and this is actually one of the background pages from the kit. And then on the spine, if you can see that, I have the little, I don't know, what, like applique flowers. And then it closes with some seam binding. And the seam binding has here the eyelets that it goes through. So, moving into this collection, it's so like, kind of like shabby chic vintage. The images are really, really gorgeous. And I was super excited to find this kit and use it. So these are some of the pages. I printed them off and then I cut them out for the front, and then there's one in the back too. But I love this image. It's very, I don't know if there's a glare on it, but there we go. So this, the book, actually, I should tell you, it does measure, the covers measure 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and then the spine is a 1-inch spine, and it is a hardcover. And I didn't use chipboard. I actually used a box. I think it was a cracker box, but once the box was there and I layered all the different cardstocks on it, now it's really, really, really thick. So it's really nice. Okay, so here is the first image, or the first sheet, I should say. It has those little vintage butterflies there, and then the background is like lined paper, but it's also like a music paper, which is really cool. And here's one of the background pages. And now here, this I know, these postcards, there's a couple more throughout. These are from Seneca Pond Crafts. So that I do remember. This is from the kit here. This is the Ephemera Vintage Garden, the planner notes. And then this one is, oh my gosh, I want to say it's Seneca Pond Crafts, but I could be wrong. It might be A Time for Roses. One or the other. Sorry, I just don't remember which one. And then on the bottom of the pocket here, I put a little beaded trim down there. And, oh, so the pocket, as you can see, I did sew it on. But the thread that I used in this is that beige color thread, almost like a white, off-white. So you don't really see the stitching as like when I use black thread or color thread. But it is, this pocket is stitched on. Then we have some children's writing paper. And here, this is from the kit. And so you can make the little pockets. Look at the images on it. They're so gorgeous. And then this tag here. I'm assuming they go inside, but I put them inside because I just like the way they fit in there. So that's clipped on. And then next here, I have a little flip up. And then this is one of those appliques I got from Wish. And this trim here I got from my friend Danny in my Happy Mail. And then this page is actually one of the pages from the kit that I did shrink it down a little bit. And then I printed it on cardstock. So it's nice for journaling. And then here's another little rose tag. And then here's another image from the book, from the kit, not the book. But it's so cool. So like, oh, it just, I don't know the words, but it's so gorgeous. So this one here, I do know this is a tag from Seneca Pond Crafts, and I just glued it down on the two sides there, added this, one of these appliques there. And then here, this is a page from the kit. This is actually the first page. Shrunk it down, printed it on cardstock. And then this is also from the kit. And everything's blank on the back, so you can use it for more journaling space. And this is something new I tried out. I've seen people do it in the past and in other videos I watched. And so finally I tried my hand at it. What it was is like one of the letter size envelopes. I think they're the number 10 envelopes. I coffee dyed it, folded it in half, cut the flap so that way each flap could fold down. Decorated it on this side. And then see on this side I also decorated it, and then this flap, it flips up. And then inside I put a library card from Seneca Pond Crafts. And then you can, you know, put other stuff in it. I just put this for now just to show you that it is a pocket. And these are some little wooden hearts. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And this little journaling card here is from Seneca Pond Crafts. It's blank on the back for journaling. And it's clipped in, so obviously anything that's clipped in, you can move it wherever you want. You can take it out and use it for something else. You know, whatever you'd like to do. More background paper, which this one is absolutely gorgeous. And then here, this is just a corner tuck. It's not one that flips up or down, but I did just decorate it a little bit. And this one is a postcard from Seneca Pond Crafts. And this is one of the vintage planner notes. And it says things to do, and I don't know if you can see it, but there are lines. So you can make like a little list, which was really nice. You know, continued on the back because it's blank. But I thought that would be kind of fun to play with. But they had the roses, so again, anything like sort of vintagey or rose related that wasn't part of the kit and would go with the kit, I wanted to include to give extra journaling space and such. And here's one. There's a very faint image of a rose there, if you can see that. And then this is a little bit different here. What I did was, so I made a little envelope, and inside the envelope is a little journaling pad. And it's all little bits of coffee dyed paper there. And then I just also, it's stitched together, and then I attached some trim on the top. But it was little and it was cute, so I stuck it in this little envelope. But you can also put other little notes in there if you want. And then I kind of, I didn't magnetize it or put Velcro or anything, but I put a vintage button on there, so it kind of weighs it down just a little bit. And then I added some trim right there. And this button is so old and vintagey, you can just see the age on it. It's awesome. Super cool. So here is another one of Seneca Pond Crafts cards. Wait, is it? Hold on. I'm confused. I think this is. I'm pretty sure it is. Almost 100% positive it is. But I put it here so you know that this is also a tuck spot behind the envelope. Okay, then here, I just wanted to decorate the page. I didn't put a pocket or tuck spot or anything, but I just put some little trim on the side just to make it so it's not plain. And look at this image. That is beautiful. So here's the middle of the signature, and here again is one of those pockets with the tags on the inside. And then look at the back. How gorgeous is that? This kit is really, really nice. Very, very nice. And look, the background page here. Actually, this isn't a background page. This is just a single page. But I just love this vintagey old feel to it. It just looks so, so cool. More place to journal. And so now we're repeating everything from that side of the journal. Again, there's a vintage button down there. There's the little notepad inside, and this is exactly the same. I won't take it out, but it's exactly the same as the one that we just saw. And then another tag. And here's another pocket. And I'm going to take the pockets off because each pocket has a different picture on the front and the back. And then also these ones are different because I made my own journaling cards. And I sewed on this ledger paper to the front. And then on the back it's just blank for any day journaling or whatever you want to do with it. And then I just stapled some seam binding to the top. Not seam binding, sorry, silk ribbon. So that goes there. Look at this image here. It's so pretty. And I think this is actually the one I used. Yep, that's the one on the front. But I love it. And so here again is the corner tuck, and it holds, these are the vintage planner notes, and this is from Seneca Pond Crafts. And they tuck, they're supposed to tuck, there we go, and there we go. And now here's the other side of the envelope. So this one I did something a little different, and this one was really hard because I thought it was such a good idea if I use these little tiny baby buttons. But I have really long fingernails, so like, I don't know, I need to cut them, I know. But to pick up these little itty bitty buttons was really, really hard. And then just to put a little dab of glue was even harder. And then to try to get it up again and put it on, I struggled with this. So hopefully it came out nice. Hopefully you like it. But here are the little baby pink buttons with this eyelet trim. And then on the inside we have another library card from Seneca Pond Crafts. That just sits right in there. And that folds back down. And then on the back I just put this rose and then a little flower inside the rose. And here's another, this is another tag from Seneca Pond Crafts. And in here, so this is also from the kit, and this is from Seneca Pond Crafts as well. I use a lot of her stuff in a lot of my journals because her journaling cards, her tags, a lot of her ephemera is very versatile. So you can use it in multiple kits over and over and over again. And that's what I like. And that's why I originally purchased the ones that I did from her, because I use them, I think, in probably 98% of my journals, because they're just they go with everything. But especially this one I loved because she has a couple that are kind of rose themed and stuff. So I thought it went perfect. And here is, I think this is the last one of the little pockets. So this is also the same as the one we just saw. But here's the image on the front, which is gorgeous. Look at that. And then the back. Very, very pretty. I really love this kit. Really nice. All right. And here, this one was my favorite little flip up here. I use this little, I don't know what they're called, and I opened it because I got it from Danny in my Happy Mail. It's like the little burlap, kind of, not burlap, I don't know, like canvas tags. I think it's, yeah, canvas tags. But this one says Believe, and then I kind of sort of just collaged everything. I put a little eyelash trim under there. Here was a little flower from the kit that I cut out, and then I just attached a little pink bow down there. And in here, this is from the kit. This, I believe, is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And then here, this is another little flower. I just made a little list pad. I'm calling it a list pad because it's good to kind of just write lists on or something. And then here's some sari silk ribbon that I sewed on top. There's the back. So, let's see. I think it went, I don't know, something like that. There we go. That's good enough. Okay. And another one of Seneca Pond Crafts postcards, and there's yellow sprinkled throughout, so I just made this little collage with the yellow flowers, and I did a little lace, crocheted lace underneath. And then in this pocket, this is from the kit, and this is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden, and this is from Seneca Pond Crafts. Alright, and if you do hear any pounding in the background, there's, I don't know, some construction going on, so. There's construction going on, and I don't know what time it is at night, but crazy. Crazy, crazy. And so here is that back page, which I love. And then here is a nice blank spot, so if you also wanted to journal here, you could definitely do that as well. And then the back, like we saw. So this is my little hardcover Dear Rose journal. If you are interested, it will be listed in my Etsy. I'll have all the details below. As always, thank you so much for staying around and watching my video. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. I do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.